Welcome. My name is Mohammed. Welcome to Business Conversations, where we interview the most successful business coaches, business owners, speakers, or influencers in the industry. So this is a chance for you to really dive into their mind and understand what makes them so successful. So I'm delighted to be able to introduce tonight successful business owner and social media expert, Debbie Bryan. Welcome, Debbie.
Hello.
So delighted to have you here. So the first question we're going to dive in is, tell us about yourself, Debbie. What got you into business and what's your background?
Okay. So I actually first started working like years ago when you could at 14 as a hairdresser. I wanted a job and I went to every single business in Swindon and asked them for a job, and eventually my dad got me a job as a Saturday girl. So I went into hairdressing for quite a few years, and then I married somebody in the army, and so we travelled around, and hairdressing kind of went to the wayside. So from there I worked around my family and became a call centre coach. So I was very corporate, made redundant from there and went into travel. And then a friend of mine was opening a salon, and I just realised that was one of my dreams, was to have the salon. So I went back to hairdressing probably about 12, 15 years ago, I guess. And that was doing really, really well. And then I got hit by a car and broke my leg. And throughout all of my businesses and throughout all of my time that I've been working, I was the main marketer. So after breaking my leg, I had to retire from hairdressing. And so that's how I got into marketing. I went and spoke to other people and started marketing my businesses, looking at other people's businesses, going in, looking at their staffing levels, how they were looking after the staff and structuring the business. And then from there, really, I just was more marketing of just normal marketing. It was a little bit before Facebook, I guess. And yeah, that's kind of how I got started, really. Was I just out of a need to do something that wasn't hairdressing. I loved the hairdressing, but I was on crutches for probably 10 months. So it just became something that wasn't physically possible. So
what was your vision or your drive behind your business?
So for the digital business, it was definitely a need, actually, because after I'd stopped the hairdressing and I'd done project management, I was approached by a company to just look after their bookings. So what they did was they did fractional ownership at the Hever Hotel in Kent. So they basically just they ran a promotion. So they did everything. And they ran a promotion to get people to go to the hotel, stay there free of charge, and then attend a presentation. So that was fabulous, and that was going really well. And actually, all I had to do was the bookings. Until one day on the 1st of February, they decided that actually the sales weren't what they wanted, and they were pulling out, and they pulled out that very day. And just decided that was that, and they wrapped up. So we still had bookings in the hotel. The hotel owners then contacted me and said, can you liaise with the people that already booked to come into the hotel? We'll still honour those. And then they phoned back later that day and said, can you take on a contract? Can you manage the bookings, and we'll promote it, and we'll promote the fractional ownership ourselves. So that's all well and good, but I didn't really have a structure. So from there, I said yes, because obviously you're going to say yes, aren't you, even though you don't have a structure. And I built a structure realistically in a week from my kitchen table. I'd previously had somebody managing my Facebook and doing my IT work, and he wasn't available. So I went and knocked on my neighbour's door, who is IT, and I explained to him what I wanted, and that I wanted a booking system, and that I wanted a landing page, and that I was going to do some advertising on Facebook. And we sat at my kitchen table and produced a business. So I guess it filled a need, because that continued until now. We're still doing that. So yeah, it's just about saying yes to something that you physically don't know how to do. But it worked. It paid off in the end. So since then, I don't work with him now. He's gone back to the corporate world, and I now do the tech stuff myself. So I taught myself the tech stuff, and I taught myself the Facebook stuff. So yeah, it's a bit of a shot in the dark, but it worked out.
And how would you say the business has grown over the past few months?
Over the past few months, if we go prior to lockdown, another side of it has come out realistically. So I've been working with the coaches at big business events from last year, and I've been working at their events actually. So I've been attending some of the free events and some of the Rockstar socials, and actually coaching people on social media and teaching people how to use social media in their businesses. And remembered, so I'm not a tech person realistically, and I started from hairdressing and people person, and I just realized how much I actually have a passion for helping people and how much I loved it. And so I approached big business events and asked if I could do some coaching, I could get involved in the coaching side of it. And I guess from there what's evolved is that there is a need, or there's I suppose there's a need for business owners to be able to know how to get online, how to be able to get their business online. If we're talking about right now, from the point of view of the lockdown, then absolutely there's a need for people to get online, to be able to get their businesses online. I've seen some amazing results of some of the things that people are doing right now, and so I think the coaching side is becoming more to the forefront than the tech side. So that's the difference where it's grown. It's just developed another product, if you like, just really on its own, I think.
Thank you. So like, there are obviously loads of other marketers or social media experts. In your opinion, based on your brand and your vision, what would you say that sets you out differently from competitors also in the industry?
I think the difference is I've done this. I've done this. I've built a business up. I've gone to get a gym membership and ended up buying the hair salon space in a gym when it was under construction and opened a hair salon. I went into that salon. I went into that business with no customers of my own because I'd not been hairdressing. So I built that from scratch. I have built photo studios. I've helped lots of different businesses to develop and to grow, both before social media and since social media. And I think after having my accident, having to start again and find something else that I'm passionate about was hard. It was really hard because I'd stayed doing what I was doing, I think, if I hadn't, but it was a small salon and I sold it to one of the stylists because it wasn't right. So I think the fact that I know the obstacles, I'm not just trained in digital media and then not had a business, makes me stand out from other people, because the problems that they're going to come up against, I've already come up against and found solutions.
Great. And also, when you started out, what do you wish, now you're looking back when you started out, what would you wish you'd known now when you started out that would help other business owners who are also looking to start a project?
I think what I wish I'd known is how to do it with the first one, like the tech thing. I'm a big believer just saying yes and then find out afterwards. So I think I wished I'd reached out for some help. There's a lot of help out there, and that I had a little bit of a DIY mentality, that I could fix things myself, that I could research stuff and do something myself. So I went the painful road, realistically, rather than asking for some help from somebody who might have known, and getting a coach that might have been able to kind of look at stuff. So what I'd say to businesses is ask for the help, reach for the help. Do it at the beginning. Don't do it 6 months down the line when you are in a painful position where you are stressed, you're working 14, 15 hours a day, and you've burnt a load of money on advertising that didn't work. Go and ask somebody who knows what they're doing and can show you results realistically. If they can show you the results of what they've done and what they've achieved, then you're going to trust that they can help you, and somebody that understands you, that speaks your language, if you like. I'm not a very good marketing jargon, so I just speak to people how they understand, and I think that's better.
Yeah, I think that's a big issue for a lot of business owners, being able to ask for help at the beginning. They tend to want to do that on their own and forget that you need people around you to help you, support you, and help
Absolutely.
you.
I think if you don't ask for the help, you'll ultimately, everyone's going to ask for help. I've asked for help. I joined, I have a coach who if I've got a problem, I ask for help, and they give me impartial help. I have a very supportive family, but they're not business owners. and so they see it from a different point of view, really. And I think if it's your business, then it can become very overwhelming without somebody else to talk to and guide you and to help you and give you suggestions.
And what would you say has been your biggest challenge since when you started until now, like that you managed to overcome?
The tech thing, really. So I'm not a natural, hairdresser. I'm a person who is a little bit artistic. So the tech, developing booking systems and websites, and then having a strategy so that you don't get overwhelmed, that there is a balance, that I have a family, so that I see my family. I don't just do a 20-hour day and then this thing's falling apart at home, etc. So having that balance is a big one. But for me, really personally, the tech thing has always been something that I would get someone else to do if I could get someone else to do. So I've forced myself to learn it. I forced myself to understand it, and actually, it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be.
And what was the key in order for you to overcome those challenges, so other business owners who might be facing the same similar issues can take heart from?
So the key to understanding was to break it down into smaller pieces, really. I kind of reverse engineered. So I looked at what I wanted to achieve, and then drew out and said, okay, I want to achieve this. What do I need to put in place? What do I need to get overcome those obstacles? Did I need to do some training? Did I need somebody else to train me? Did I need to just not panic about it, I suppose, and sit down and logically just work through it? And I think that helped me a lot to kind of know what my goal was at the end, and then just try and work backwards. And also, I found someone to speak to because I'd wrote my next door neighbour in, who is an IT person. He's worked at the military college locally here. He didn't speak in a jargon because he wasn't a marketeer. So he wasn't somebody who was going to start talking about ClickFunnels and all the stuff that just makes you think, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. So I was quite lucky I had somebody who walked me through it.
Yeah, I think that's really important to have like that coach or mentor that can show you the ways.
Absolutely.
And people underestimate that.
I wouldn't have ever got the business started. I would have had to go. I'd have had to do something like a Facebook advertising that generated a comment, and then me manually have to chase it up. We were getting hundreds and hundreds of leads a day, so it just would have been physically impossible to service the client, really. And I've been very lucky in that client actually has a sister hotel, so we ran the same promotion at their hotel. They opened a spa last year, and I ran the promotions for that, and they've recommended me to many other people.
What would you say it's been like your unique skill that's allowed you to be successful?
Stubbornness, probably. Yeah, just really being stubborn and being a little bit dogged and going, okay, I know this is going to work. I just need to work out how it's going to work. That's one of the things. And the ability to learn, the ability to listen to people. I'm sure there's times when I've been not open to learning, not coachable. Like, when I've spoken to people and I've looked and gone, no, I don't need you to help me. I can do this all myself. And I think that, ultimately you will ask for help. Everyone does. You ask for help now, ask for help in 6 months' time. I could have speeded my journey up a lot.
And what do you think, like, what advice would you give people who are thinking of creating a business but are too scared to take that first step, or they're procrastinating over the idea? Like, what do you say to them, like, in order for them to start taking action and seeing results?
So I would say, I guess really it's a similar type thing to what I've just said. What I would do is I would ask somebody to look at your idea and to look at your plan. So, write down what your target audience is, write down your niche, really. Just make sure that there is a market, there is a business. Sometimes having someone else to sit down, whether that be a friend, whether it be a coach, or whether it be a trainer, is perfect to see things differently to you. It's a different perspective to how you get there. And then once you've done that, if your idea is good, then do it. Just do it, because I have a theory. If you can walk away from something that's not for you, if you can't walk away from it, then it's for you, and that will give you the drive and the ambition that you really need to see it through.
It's very true. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Like, people need that commitment.
That's why I opened the salon. When the opportunity came along, I was a successful travel sales manager. I had a team of 45 people. We were selling over £1 million worth of holidays from home. I worked from home, and all my team worked from home, and I had 3 children at school. So I had a full-time job that I could do from home. I had 5 holidays a year. I earned really good money. And then I went and opened a hair salon, and because I couldn't walk away from it. I couldn't. So, rightly or wrongly, I guess.
So we can't not talk about COVID-19, because it's affecting many businesses that are going out of business. It's like really hit people with income. So I just want to know, like, as a successful business owner, how have you had to adapt to deal with COVID-19? Like, what's been your change of strategy to ensure that you've been able to remain competitive, or remain like that you can also communicate to your clients and give them a service still?
Okay, so COVID is, I guess really what we've done is try to, with my clients, so some of my clients are event-based and physical events. So that's been quite tricky because the hotels are closed, the events are closed. So probably to give an example, one of my clients, what we've done with them is they had physical day retreats for ladies to attend, and focus on health and menopause, actually. And so what we've done with those is they had a strategy to have an online academy that was going to be launched later in the year, and we've moved that forward. So we've developed a product now that people can go online and get all the help and all the facilities that they wanted from the comfort of their own home. So that's been quite good. And with that particular company, we built up a huge following very quickly, from 6,000 followers to 80,000 followers in just a couple of months. So that really has helped in the fact that now we have an online audience that we can go out and offer this online product to 80,000 followers. They've do more than that now. I think they're up to about 120, but that's one of the things that we've done. And then for any of my clients, and even for some of the people that weren't my clients, I've been in touch with them and been coaching them and talking to them about how they can get their products online. I know of one person who's got a beauty salon who started doing online facial reviews and product reviews, and Sasha, if you're watching, and actually recommending products for people. So she's still selling products and still keeping in touch and providing a service for her clients. I think that's one of the things that's important, is what can you still do for your client? Your clients are locked at home as well. So can you recommend products for them? Can you get an online coaching? I have a friend of mine who's a physiotherapist. So I've helped him to get online so that he can actually do Zoom calls and still do the physiotherapy. So I think there's opportunities out there for lots of businesses, not for all. There are lots of opportunities for lots of businesses. And if anybody wants to have a chat about getting their business online, then I'm happy to have a free call with anybody. And that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, I think there is a trend now, like, where a lot of people are, a lot of people stop marketing. A lot of people have kind of like scaled back their businesses. But actually, there's a big opportunity right now, especially with online, to really put your message across online and still provide a service to your customers.
I mean, hugely, one of the big things that's happened for Facebook marketing, and we primarily use Facebook marketing, is that the ad spend, the cost per lead and the cost per ad have gone down drastically, with so many other people pulling out of the market. If anyone ever wanted to try Facebook marketing for their business, or they thought they didn't work for them previously, now is the time to go. So one of the things that I've done, what I'm doing for my clients, is we're developing a product where it's a business kit really that will enable a step-by-step guide on how to get online, how to do an ad, how to automate your emails, how to automate texts, and how to grow your following. So that's something that will be launched next week. So watch this space, people. And I think that will really, really help, because it's very simple to just get the basics for somebody to be able to just do it at their own pace, at their own leisure, but with some support, some coaching support as well if they wanted some questions.
Sounds exciting. And what do you think, as a business owner, is the most common reason why most people end up failing or giving up with their business?
I think it's just people underestimate just how long it takes to build a business. You know, there's a huge amount around at the moment where you can just do this and it happens overnight, and that doesn't. But I think, again, it goes back to not having the right help, not having the right structure in place, getting overwhelmed, maybe not having the encouragement from the people you feel should be encouraging you. So sometimes friends and family are not the, you know, they don't always encourage you in a way that they don't see your vision and they don't see your dream. I'm lucky I have a very supportive family, but there have been times when they've looked at me a little bit strange and said, what is she doing now? You know, that's happened to me. And so I've had to have the confidence to be able to say, I know what I'm doing. And you know, when you see what happens, that's when you know that it's going to work. So I think for anybody that is thinking of giving up, then ask for some help before you give up, because there'll be a genuine passion of why you started that business. What, you know, what spurred you, what trigger there was for you to actually say, this is what I'm going to do. You know, I'm going to give up my full-time job, or something that did it. And that gets lost when you get overwhelmed. You just lose that sight of that. So I would say, you know, get somebody to help you and look at it and get that spark back.
Yeah, it sounds like the importance of having like a good supportive network is key to being successful, and also being mindful of the people who you surround yourself with.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm very lucky because I work, so I obviously have a coach, but I work with coaches, and I've been lucky enough that Adam Stott has allowed me to work at some of his events. So I've been exposed to some great speakers and very inspirational people. But the people that motivate me are just the normal people, the people that are like me, that, you know, just living a normal life and trying to achieve something. That's the people that really, really motivate me more so. But it's nice to have the support. It's nice to, I get quite nervous online. So I phoned my coach before here and said, oh, I'm getting a little bit nervous about going online. And he's just like, definitely fine, get it. So it's nice to have that, to be able to reach out to somebody. Like my whole family are spread around this house here somewhere, all being terribly, terribly quiet, which they're never, ever quiet, to be honest. But it wasn't their support. Like, I love him. It wasn't their support. It was my coach. You know, my coach said, you've got this, you can do this. You stand up and speak in front of 300 people at an event, and you're worried about talking on a video from a corner of your house. So yeah, I think having that support, having that structure is immensely important. And I wish I'd got it sooner. I really do wish I'd got it sooner.
Yeah, I say it again, people do underestimate the value of having a coach, because it can allow you to really understand the business, and also plug the holes of those like blind spots that you might have of a business that are holding you back. So
yeah, that's self-employed. Anxiety is a big thing of being self-employed, but we don't call it anxiety. We call it stress, because it's okay to be stressed as a business owner and not own it. That sometimes that is anxiety, and that freezes us into a place where we can't move forward and we can't kind of see a way forward. And so yeah, having somebody to help. I'm lucky I have got a support group, but if somebody is watching and they don't have a support group, then reach out to me, reach out to Wahome. We're happy to have a conversation, or, you know, reach out to somebody that knows what you're doing, somebody that's in business and kind of knows what you're going through, because it's a tough time at the moment.
yeah, and going along those lines, like, there's a lot of people obviously right now who are feeling unmotivated and they're struggling to stay positive. Like, what is it that enables you to stay motivated and stay, you know, focused in hard times when you're facing challenges, and that you don't just give up like many other people might do?
Probably go back to that stubbornness, I guess. I'm not like, I can't be wrong. So I can't be wrong. No, I think it's just a case of maybe I would have done that before. Now I just know that there's a way to do things, and so I deal with my stress. I will go for a walk. In the olden days, I would have gone for a swim before the virus, and kind of had give myself some time, some thought time to desensitize, really, to think it through. If I'm walking on, I'm thinking about other things, but actually I'm really thinking about the problem. And so I find that I can come back and have a strategy to attack it in a different way, or in a less panicky way, or maybe I've just thought, you know what, this person knows how to help me. I think I'm a big believer in not reinventing the wheel. You know, it's out there. Whatever problem you've got, there is a solution that somebody else has already found.
Yeah, that's true.
Motivated. So
yeah, I think the importance. So I was going to say the importance of like having like an exercise regime, and like doing something that allows you to unwind from the business and like refocus and clear your mentality is important. So I definitely agree of how you handle staying motivated, and I think a lot of people tend to not do anything, or just end up watching Netflix, or being distracted by things that don't serve them.
And I also think at the moment, when I was talking to a colleague and to one of my clients the other day, and screen time is huge at the moment. You know, everything is being done on the screen. We're going to move from the phone to the laptop to the TV, and I think getting that balance, we don't feel like it is screen time, but that can make you very anxious and very agitated to just be looking at a screen for, you know, some people are working 12, 15 hours a day from home, locked in their rooms, not locked in their rooms like a prisoner, but, you know, they've isolated themselves so that they can work in a quiet environment, and forgetting the need to just go out and kind of burn off some of that energy, I think, that helps you to process. So it's a balance. It's a hard one to balance. It's one of my things that I struggle a little bit with balance, so I just work it into the routine.
Yeah, I agree. So what would you say has been like the biggest failure that you faced in the last year, or even when you started, and why do you think that it came about?
Okay, so I think my biggest failure was I had a huge client last year, and took a lot of my focus onto that client because they were profitable, they were busy, they were very demanding, and I outsourced some of my other clients to my team. But in hindsight, when that client decided that they were going to move abroad and change the campaign, so they no longer needed it, I've kind of neglected my other people. So it was down to, I should have delegated some of the tasks that I was doing and focused on my other clients. So when that happened, I was in a position where I had to kind of build up my other clients to replace that gap. So now I try to make sure that I have a balance of everything, that I do delegate some of the tasks out. I don't have such a, not ego, I don't know what the word is really, maybe it is ego, who knows, to be thinking that I'm the only person that can achieve the results, and that actually I have a good team of people that are also based at home that are very, very capable, and that I could have delegated some of those tasks out and had a little bit better perspective.
It's hard when you're a business owner and you're like the main focused person to not feel like you want to do everything on your own, and actually delegate to the people below you, especially if you feel that you are going to be the person that's going to be able to do it in the best way possible to get the job done. So I do see that a lot of business owners, it is hard to actually trust in their teams and say, look, I'm going to give this to you, because you think, actually, I know if I do it myself, it'll get done.
Absolutely. I mean, it's trusted. I know that the girls that I've got that work for me would do the job. It's just, I suppose it was my vision, and also taking the time out to explain to them the vision and what you needed them to do. And so that's something that, since I've been coached myself, that I've realised that actually is a trust thing. And at the end of the day, if I don't achieve the results, then they don't get paid. So that responsibility sits with the business owner, and I felt that quite strongly at the time. So I didn't realise that they would be motivated to to keep the business going and to keep that contract going. And so if I'd have just given them a little bit more delegation, then yeah, they would have worked just as hard as me. So,
I think delegation it's an important thing.
Yeah.
And it does allow not only the team to be successful, but it also allows like the boss or the owner to have more time to focus on other areas of the business, so to really scale the business and grow. But if you hold on to too many things at once, and then you can do it all by yourself, it can have a detrimental issue on not only your health, but also on how successful the business is long term wise.
Yeah, and I think also for my weaknesses, you know, my weakness is tech, and so I battled to make that not be my weakness, and so then I have a tendency to say, look, this is not going to beat me, but actually the amount of time it takes for me to do something tech to what it would take for me to outsource it is not necessarily a good use of my time. That's about learning where your value actually is. So, but I now understand the tech, so if someone else does it, then I know if they're doing it right or wrong. So it's still a good learning curve.
Yeah. Well, what do you think is like the biggest challenge that your industry is currently facing now?
There's an awful lot of people out there that are coaching with no experience. So there's lots of people out there that are saying, look, be like me, and I can make you rich. So there's a huge amount of mistrust for what people are getting, and I think adaptability as well. You know, we're seeing businesses that are changing, you know, changing day by day, where you know, something that you could put in place for a client today could be out of date by tomorrow. That actually happened at the beginning of lockdown. One of my financial clients wanted to look at things like wills and trusts and equity releases to try and help people that had businesses that were struggling, or families that were struggling, to be able to release some of their equity out of their properties. And just really we're normally used to doing ads that will run and carry on running for, you know, weeks or months that deliver results, and the ads were out of date every day, every single day, from going to isolating to being locked down to not having to go to work and stuff. That they were just, it was incredible just how quickly they were irrelevant as such. So that was quite tough, and I think for a lot of businesses it would be the same, in that they have to move with the events that are happening in the world.
And are there any like resources that you believe have really helped you get to where you are now along the journey?
Yeah, I have to say big business events, and I sound like an advert then really, but I have to say that, you know, the team at big business events, Adam, Ross, Pippa, some of the people that I've met through joining the Business Academy, which is a network of entrepreneurs really, or business owners that help each other. I work with the digital dancer Amy Jessica. I work with her quite a lot, and we've attended some of the events. So there's people that I've met through there that are in the same position as me and facing the same realities that I'm facing at the moment. And so, yeah, they've helped immensely. Well, Ross is the person that I called before I came onto the call. So big business events, thank you. I think that's the biggest support I've always had. I've always been very, very lucky in that I have a very supportive family. I grew up in a self-employed family, so, you know, I've got people who are business owners around my family, but not that are understanding what it's like now, realistically. You know, it's a different market, and it's fantastic as well. You know, the fact that we can be having this conversation now, that we can be having a conversation, that people can be watching this conversation, and you know, that technology has made it so easy that I think if this had happened 10 years ago, it would have been so much more painful. So, yeah.
I think once again it stresses the importance of having a network of peers that understand you, that can really support you. It sounds like that's really helped you along the way. And I think that obviously many business owners who are choosing to go the Lone Ranger could really take advice from, like, you know, finding like a membership network, or, you know, or surrounding themselves with entrepreneurs that can really support them along this journey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bad networker, if I'm honest. You know, I don't like network events and events normally where you go and people just want something from you. You know, they're looking over your shoulder to see if there's somebody else that can pull you back to climb your business. So I don't enjoy those events. I don't go to those events, but this network is very different. People, will reach out and help you and give you advice and not necessarily want anything back. They don't actually even want to sell you anything or, piggyback your success to their success. So it's definitely a unique network, but it's helped me massively to recognize, I suppose, where I want my journey to go. And it's helped me develop my coaching side so that the product that I'm going to bring out next week wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't had that kind of help from business events, really.
So just to bring some levity, what are you not very good at? Because we know you're a very successful business right now. But what are you not good at?
I can't take a selfie. I take a selfie and I'm just like, I don't know what happens to me. I don't think my arms are long enough, maybe, or I don't seem to be able to take a selfie. I am not very good at videos. I'm not good at watching movies because I talk through them, apparently. So I am banned from the Marvel Fest that the rest of the family are having. They're doing 48 hours of Marvel, and I was only allowed to watch one film, and then they said I wasn't allowed to stay anymore because I chatter through it. So
you're a chatterbox.
Yeah, I'm more sociable than a TV watcher, I guess. So I'm not good at staying still either, and I have no patience. So everyone will tell you that I've got no patience. So.
Well, it offers inspiration to everyone because it shows it doesn't matter where you've come from, what you started with, or what areas of weaknesses. It's possible for everyone to, become a success and have a successful business and still have weaknesses that they need to work on.
Absolutely. Entrepreneurs don't watch movies anyway. But finishing up, I guess what I would say to people is, I built my business myself. I've overcome having to give up one of the careers that I loved. And if I can do it, then you can do it. Anyone can do it. You just need to do it.
Inspiring, yeah. I totally agree with you. And so what's next? Like, what's next coming up for you in the future? And like, how can people work with you and reach out to you? And like,
okay. So the next will be the product. So the product is a kit to just get you online. So you will learn from the step-by-step process how to increase your followers. I said earlier on that I managed to get one of my clients' followers from 6,000 to 80,000 in a very short period of time on Facebook. We will also learn how to get an ad that will produce some leads, and you will then have a process to follow so that if you get a lead, you know what to do with it. Well, I find a lot of people get leads and then they get stuck there. So that's a process that's a takeaway process, really. It'll be something that people can just take and watch and learn and apply without having to join a network. The other product I am offering is online coaching. So if anybody was interested in having a conversation with myself completely free of charge to see if I can help them in any way, then click below, put some comments in the comments box, and I'll chase you up. So I'm just looking to carry on helping people, getting people online and getting through the virus.
have you a website that people can reach you on?
It's Debbie Bryan Marketing, Media and Coaching on Facebook, Debbie Bryan Coach on here, and I'm launching the website next week. So that will be, watch out for that. It will come with the product at the same time.
So I really recommend anyone who's looking to grow their areas of marketing or, really grow their business, because social media is like such a key area for allowing your business to grow and getting leads. So if you really need the support, then really reach out to Debbie. And just to end on, what final piece of advice could you give to people out there wanting to start a business or a project, and they have all these excuses why they can't do it? They don't have sales skills, or they're not good at marketing, or they don't have the resources, or they don't have the support network, or they haven't got the time. Like, what would you finish off on, like, really advising them?
I would just say, everything that you need is out there. So if you've not if you've not got the finance, if you've not got a business plan, if you've not got the, you're procrastinating about will it work, won't it work, then reach out. That's what my free coaching call will do. If somebody's got an idea, then reach out and ask me or ask yourself. I go back to my one thing that I do, which is if I have an idea and I can't walk away from it, then I know that it's mine and I'm going to do it. So if you've got an idea that you just can't walk away from it, it stays with you, but you just don't know how to put it into practice, then ask for some help. Everything that you absolutely know and need is already there. Someone's already walked the hard path, so let them show you how to walk the easy path.
I'd resonate with that, and I would say to people watching, like, I found talking with you quite inspiring. So, I think it kind of reinforces the importance of taking action and not just sitting around and waiting for things to happen, just to go out and seek the help, seek the expertise if you don't have it, and actually just start putting things in motion, because otherwise, success is not going to come to you unless you take the first step and start taking action. So it's been a pleasure to have you on this call, Debbie, and really appreciate all the wisdom you passed today. I hope everyone watching has found that useful.
A call coming in there.
And yeah, so I wish you best of luck with the products. I hope they go success, and that you keep growing. And as I'm sure you're going to continue skyrocketing for the rest of the year. And I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon.
Well, thank you, and goodbye.
Thanks, Debbie. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.